So we're going to talk about how you can change a whiteboard into a group activity. So, or basically a group generator. So we can randomly create groups for your kiddos in your classroom. So we're going to link it to Lumio. So I'm going to use this whiteboard that is right up here. And because I'm using that one, it's actually going to link and save into my Lumio account. So that way I can go back in and use it each time and start different sessions as needed. So now I have the whiteboard up and I'm going to click on the people down here in the bottom. Now, we've already kind of played around with this, so we do have participants in here, but if you don't, it does not matter when you're setting this up. Really, what you want to do is this right here, convert this space into an activity. So what kind of activity? You want a group space activity. What will happen then is once you create that into a group space activity, your kids are going to go to hellosmart.com and they're going to put in your code to join. Once they do that, you're just going to start the session. So once I start the session, it's going to generate here and it's going to ask me how many teams would you like. So now, knowing that I've waited for everybody to kind of get in, I know if I have 30 kids in my class, I should have 30 participants that have signed in, and maybe I want 3 or 4 groups. With the number of people I have, I'm just going to choose 2 groups. What happens is that really nicely puts them into the different groups, and then you can move them accordingly, especially if people have been in the same group together. You don't want people, certain students together, those types of things. Now you have this. You don't have to do anything else here. You can say, here are your groups, get into your groups, and then you can start the activity as needed. But really, this is all you're using this whiteboard for, is to generate these random groups. Okay, so if that's all you want to do, there's really nothing else that you need to do. But if you want to actually start the group activities, so each of these groups, once they've gotten into their groups, now have a whiteboard that they can jot down their learning and or the information they're brainstorming, they can. You're going to click Start Workspace. When you do that, you can see the workspace, and each of the students then sees their workspace, and they will actually see the whiteboard and they'll be able to adjust and do different things on their whiteboard. Now, click and touch their whiteboard, and then you'll be able to see each team's progress on your screen. And then I can flip between the 2 different teams up here in the upper right-hand corner. And as a teacher, I can add to it as well. So now I can say, look here.